So you're thinking about buying the Wahl Magic Clip cordless. But what if I told you this legendary clipper might actually ruin your next haircut? Stay right there, because I've used it for months, and today I'm revealing the three massive problems that nobody is talking about. For the best price, click the link in the description. But here's what surprised me. This clipper has a near-perfect 4.5-star rating on Amazon. Therefore, you'd think it's flawless. However, after testing it side by side with other pro clippers, I found critical flaws that could cost you time, money, and a good haircut. That's the contrarian truth we're diving into today. Let's start with the big promise versus reality. The Magic Clip cordless is marketed as the ultimate tool for fades and precision work, loved by barbers worldwide. It costs around $140, which is a serious investment for a home user. So the expectation is salon-perfect results every single time. But my first major issue is with its power and consistency, and it showed up in the very first week. Here's the joke. This clipper's battery life is like a comedian's timing. Sometimes it's there, and sometimes it leaves you hanging awkwardly in the middle of a punchline, or in this case, a fade. The core selling point is its cordless freedom and powerful magnetic motor. In theory, it should plow through any hair type. Therefore, I put it to the test on thick, coarse hair. For the first 10 minutes, it was a dream, smooth, quiet, and efficient. But then, the first problem hit. A noticeable power drop as the battery drained. It didn't just slowly die. It started struggling, tugging at hair instead of cutting cleanly. This isn't just an inconvenience. It can lead to uneven patches and a ruined haircut. Imagine being halfway through a detailed fade on the back of your head and the motor bogs down. Nightmare. Now let's rehook. What if the blade, the very heart of the clipper, was secretly its biggest weakness? We'll get to that shocking truth in a moment. The second major problem is heat and noise. After about 15 to 20 minutes of continuous use, the motor housing and the blade get uncomfortably warm. Not, ooh, that's toasty, warm, but did I just buy a hand warmer? Hot. This is a common complaint if you dig into longer, detailed reviews online. Therefore, for longer cutting sessions, which this clipper is supposedly built for, you have to stop and let it cool down. That breaks your rhythm and focus. But wait, it gets worse. The noise profile is strange. It's not the consistent hum of other pro clippers. It has a slightly higher pitched whine that becomes more pronounced as it heats up. For a tool you hold close to your ears, this gets annoying fast. Time for another joke. Using this clipper feels like being in a bad relationship. It starts off strong and promising, then gets hot and noisy, and eventually leaves you feeling powerless. Let's talk about the blade system, which is where the magic in the name is supposed to come from. It uses a patented adjustable taper lever and a ceramic moving blade that's supposed to stay cooler and sharper. Here's the contrarian snapback. This ceramic blade is incredibly fragile. I've spoken to barbers who say a single drop onto a hard bathroom tile can chip or crack it. A replacement blade costs around $30, $40. Therefore, that durable promise has a big, expensive asterisk. But the real issue is maintenance. It requires meticulous cleaning and oiling after every use to prevent corrosion and keep it smooth. Fail to do this, and the cutting performance degrades rapidly, leading to more pulling and skipping. Mini promise. I'm about to reveal the one setting on this clipper that is utterly useless and why you should never touch it. The adjustable lever is a double-edged sword. On one hand, it allows for seamless fading by incrementally changing the blade length. On the other hand, its mid-range settings, particularly the halfway points, are notoriously inconsistent. The cut isn't as clean, and hair often gets caught. Most pros I know only use it fully open or fully closed for this reason. So, a key feature marketed for precision is partially flawed. Therefore, as a home user, you're paying for a pro feature you can't fully utilize without expert technique, and even then, you might avoid it. Now, the third colossal problem: ergonomics and weight distribution. The Magic Clip has a specific shape designed for barbering techniques like flicking and scissor overcomb. But for the average person cutting their own hair or doing a simple friend's haircut, this shape is awkward. It's front-heavy. Therefore, during longer sessions, fatigue sets in your wrist and fingers much faster than with a more balanced clipper. This leads to shaky hands and less precise lines. But the biggest ergonomic fail, the on-off switch. It's a small, stiff slider that's incredibly hard to toggle quickly with your thumb, especially if your hands are even slightly damp. In a fast-paced cut, this is a frustrating hurdle. Here's joke number 3. The on-off switch is so stiff, I think Wahl designed it to give your thumb a workout so you can skip gym day. Too bad it's the only part of the clipper that builds muscle. Let's pull back for a resolution. Are these problems deal breakers? Not necessarily, but they are critical considerations. Therefore, who is this clipper actually for? It's for a working barber or a supremely dedicated home enthusiast who is willing to baby it. Constant cleaning, careful charging, avoiding drops, and mastering its quirks. For the casual user who wants a reliable, grab-and-go cordless clipper for monthly trims, these problems are significant. You're buying a Formula One car to drive to the grocery store. It's high performance but high maintenance and unforgiving. But what about the positives, to be fair? The cut quality, when the battery is fresh and the blade is perfectly maintained, is exceptional. The fade results can be stunningly smooth. The cordless freedom is genuinely liberating. And the overall build quality, aside from the fragile blade, feels solid. It's a legendary tool for a reason, but legends often have flaws nobody talks about. Final rehook. So should you buy it? Here's my final, honest verdict and a better alternative I'll mention in a second. My resolution is this. The Wahl Magic Clip Cordless is a specialist's tool with glaring flaws for the general public. The battery power drop, the heat, the fragile blade, and the awkward ergonomics are real issues that the 4.5-star rating glosses over. Therefore, if you are not a professional or a hardcore hobbyist ready for its demanding maintenance, your $140 is better spent elsewhere. Look for a clipper with a more consistent power delivery, better heat dissipation, and a more user-friendly design. One last joke. Choosing this clipper as a beginner is like using a samurai sword to butter toast. It's impressive, overkill, and you'll probably end up damaging something, mostly your toast, or in this case, your haircut and your patience. If, after hearing all this, you still want to take on the challenge and get the legendary Wahl Magic Clip Cordless for yourself, I've done the hard work for you. Click the link in the description below to check the current best price on Amazon. That link supports our channel at no extra cost to you, and it's the safest way to ensure you get a genuine product. Thanks for watching this honest review. Now you know the real problems before you buy.